Happy Saturday here at Old Hilltop. I am here, Callie Francois, with Keith Fusel, the morning line odds maker. Keith, did you miss me yesterday?
I did.
You did.
You had a replacement though, and I tell you what, she did a
I
good
hear.
job. You
I
may,
hear.
you may be,
I may have a
you
part.
may
I
be
haven't.
replaced shortly. It looks like.
I don't. A new partner in crime.
That was
No,
good.
I heard she had great. I heard it was great fun with Forrest yesterday. I had some great fun myself at the Real Ryder Cup yesterday.
Yes.
Had a great turnout. We're already thinking of ideas for next year, so a wonderful go for the Real Ryder Cup. But let's kick on to race number one, this claiming 10. But actually, excuse me, I'm getting ahead of myself. Before we get into that, let's take a look at the racetrack. We've got some track conditions that we've got to update you on, which don't really need to update you as the track is still fast and the turf is still firm for today. A nice 75 out. May bump up a little couple in degrees, but nothing too crazy. We're getting into this nice late summer. It's not quite technically fall yet. That's the 21st, so we're still right before that. But hey, wonderful weather that we have coming up here for the rest of the racing day today.
It's been beautiful. We've been blessed, and looking forward. The weather forecast looks good moving forward. So, yeah. But getting back, I thought Forest Boy says, yeah, she did a good job yesterday. It was a lot of fun.
Right off the cuff,
with
yes.
Tim. So yeah,
not surprised.
I'm probably going to be the one that gets the boot, but it's been a good ride. It's been 9 years, I think. Can she take over morning line duty, or do you want to do that?
You're stuck with me for a while.
All right.
Really?
Well,
I just start doing these morning shows with you, and you want to scram already?
No, we're good. We're good.
All right. There we go. Yeah,
All
put
right.
you back in your place. But let's go ahead to race at number one. This claiming at 10 non-winners of 2, a mile and 16th here on the dirt. We both land on the number one. Cage Pixie, Chucky Lawrence, J-Ron Barbosa. This one is on. Light switch went on quite a few races, a couple 4 or 5 races ago, but things seem to be kicking well for this one.
Yeah, Lasix went on, 3 races back. This horse is increasing distance and doing it well. We have a video of Cage Pixie's last race. Now remember, Callie, I got all the videos. I'm throwing all the videos. August 19th.
Yep.
If we can get that video up. I know we're on a little bit of a delay out here. If we can get a channel change, that would be awesome for the monitor. But Cage Pixie in a big field, caught about 3 wide around the quarter pole, 7/8 of a mile. Had to drop back a little bit off of that pace, but came back again pretty willingly. I thought Cage Pixie is showing a lot of life. Martha Rita came out of that race to run well. Another horse came out of there to win. So Cage Pixie, Chucky Lawrence, the combo, Barbosa, doing quite well. Barbosa 3 yesterday in a row.
Yes.
Couple wins from Mike Merriman. That was good to see, to get him back on his game. But Cage Pixie, we know Barbosa is going to be inside speed, and he's going to go. Okay, he's going to go with this filly. I think Violent Jessup can get a little bit closer, maybe start from the outside. But I like the way he's riding right now. He's aggressive. He puts his horses into the races early and gives them a really good chance to win.
He is aggressive, but if you look, as long as he doesn't get too aggressive off of the rail to try and chuck this horse to the lead, that's my only cap. As long as that doesn't happen, because once a horse, especially at this level, gets into a comfortable spot, a comfortable groove, it's hard to. You don't want to shake from that. But we also have the number 3 underneath. She's a trip. Carlos Mencia, Rui also riding very, very well here, just in general, as we can expect of him. But coming off of that to a little bit of a break and then Timonium setup, breaking the maiden at Timonium.
Kobe's Girl came back out of that race to win, sprinting, but she's a trip. I think can get the distance. Never looked like a loser last time at all. Was settled into the inside, sat chilly, worked a trip, and went on by. But see if she can kind of pair that race up. And I like Cage Pixie as my key horse in the opener.
And with that, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back to dig into Keith's early pick 4.
We're ready for the start. They're off.
Early pick 4 time, Keith Fusel has a ticket lined up. Let's take a quick look at that, starting in race number 2 with this maiden special weight, Keith.
This ticket could have been $1,000,000.
Yes.
I had to, trim it out quite a bit, but hopefully we can get by leg one. These things have been a struggle for me of late, but we're knocking on the door. 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 10. Would have used the 1, but the 1 is a scratch out of race number 2. Take out the 1, Barb's Pride. 2-year-olds on the turf. A lot of well-bred horses, a couple horses with experience. This is going to be a really good race. Race 3. Too deep with the 4 and the 7. Got some value in there. Uncommon Valor 8-1. Triple Tito's 8-1 on the line. I think Triple Tito's going to be a little bit lower. I've got that one lined a little too high. Race 4, Callie, we go 3 deep with the 1, 4, 7. Another highly competitive field, sprinting on the turf. These are fillies and mares 3 and up, the starter optional variety. Lots of ways to go in race number 4. We whittle it all the way down. We've got to get a single to keep this ticket somewhat affordable. 8 in Sand, number 3, in race number 5 for Brittany Russell, Sheldon Russell. We have a video of that horse's debut. Just didn't seem comfortable down at Colonial.
Exactly.
We're going to give that one another chance. There's your ticket, $18 for the early pick 4.
$18 for Keith Fusel single and best bet of the day in that race number 5. But let's go ahead and have a chat about this nice maiden special weight here on the turf. And you land on the number 10, which I have underneath, Opus 42, Arnaud Delacour. On the outside, Georgie Rui. But Arnaud Delacour, recently, first time on the turf, has been pretty well, Keith.
It's done well. We've got a little stat. It's not a huge sample, but it kind of encompasses a couple of his runners. He's got the 7, How Lovely, and the 10, Opus 42, both first-time starters. Scratched the other day. They're going to go here. But Arnaud Delacour with a 2-year-old maiden special weight first-time starters on the turf, sprinting. 3 for 9, 33%, 5 for 9 in the money. ROI, it's a positive one of 229, and both of these certainly could take to the grass and the sprint first time out.
First time, certainly. And as Keith mentioned earlier on his ticket, scratch the 1, Barb's Pride, Dale Capuano, which that was a nicely bred gelding, but on the inside I could see that why that was a little bit of a scratch. But again, so then let me just bring up, we go by these Arnaud Delacour horses.
Yep.
Again, you highlight how well he does. And then Mendelssohn, Mendelssohn has had 6 winners on the turf so far. 3 of those 6 have been sprinting. So he's 60% winning first time out, sprinting on the turf. So that's even backing up Opus 42 a little bit even more heavily. And then I go with the number 5 underneath, and you switch. I have number 5 on top. You have number 5 underneath, Tall Order, Dale Capuano. Light bulb must have just went on, or just really getting used to going these shorter distances. That's a bigger horse, so I'm surprised we're still at it with the shorter distances with Tall Order.
Yeah, Tall Order had a major excuse 2 races back at Colonial. Missed the break. Chada made a little bit of a middle move, flattening out behind the next out winner, but game all the way last time out. Chased the leader. It was a Cal Lynch 4-5 shot. Got the lead, was able to dictate it. I like the way that Tall Order just kind of churned on gamely to the wire. I'll throw that one in the mix. Mission Man, the 4. You don't see Elizabeth Merriman. The stats aren't great first out, but I caught a sibling to this one back at Laurel at a price. This mare has had 3 runners, right? All 3 have hit the board first time out. I think one of them might have won it. This is a half to Caravel. She's a pretty good sprinter, right, on the turf. And that other one ran big at a price. So I think Mission Man is a sleeper type in this race with Charlie Marquez. I look at what's the other one I have in here, the 7, How Lovely, correct. I just got a lot of ways to go in race 2, but hopefully that stat will prevail for me. The mare was pretty good on the turf at first foal, but draws outside. Just don't want that duck out kind of move out of the gate.
See, now I have something to say about that, because I was looking. This is coming from a barn of Arnaud Delacour where they prep these horses up to break well. They do. It's the training. This isn't a maiden 10 where anything could. These horses are properly prepared, so unless something drastic happens in the gate, or you have a super erratic type minded filly in the gate, which I don't see this. Otherwise, I feel like we would see more gate works for this filly, but there's a difference between drifting out and bolting out. Drifting out, even older horses do it on the outside, and nobody seems to comment about that. So I'm not concerned at all about that outside, so you're good to go. And as far as Mission Man is concerned, I did have a little bit of a tip yesterday on that horse. Could be okay for today, but let's not be surprised if that horse is suited to longer distances in the future. So good to have on the ticket, good to have underneath. It's a great underneath horse, the 4.
And in your exactas, I mean, you've got to spread around, I think, in here. Look for some value. The 2, Ryan's Fleet, I don't have in my top 4, but I will be using this guy in my exacta. Ryan's Fleet, a little middle move after having to take back second blinkers, but that mare was quick. 88 top number, sprinting on the turf.
Race number 3 is back down to a claiming 10, which is number 1, 2. 6 furlongs here on the dirt at Old Hilltop. Keith, you land on the number 4, Uncommon Valor for Jose Corrales. Walter Rodriguez having this bit of a nice momentum roll, especially from that Timonium meet coming in here to Pimlico.
Yeah, last time Walter Rodriguez rode this guy, he had a brutal trip. Bounced around at the break, caught wide on a track that you couldn't really close on, but kept on willingly. I've got a couple excuses after that kind of a speed track on the 19th, and then last time out just a few days ago, really. Didn't get much out of that race. A little step slow, caught wide down the backside. I think there's some speed in here to set things up. One more shot. I've been chasing Uncommon Valor. This is it for me. He does not get the top slot if he doesn't run well here. Amicalola Falls speed, bet on Bits of Speed. I think Big Daddy DR. These 3 were going to be out there. It's going to be an honest pace. The one's been running very well. Tough to leave out of the exacta. But I think Triple Tito's Uncommon Valor, the horses from the back of the pack.
Keith Fustel nailing these types of races here at Laurel Park. So look on that. That's a little bit of a price play, 8-1. So I see that holding up until we get to those gates. But race number 4 is a starter optional 30. 5 furlongs here on the turf, and we both land on the outside, a bit on the outside. The number 7, World Gone Wild for Jamie Ness, J-Ron Barbosa. I took a second look, and then once I took that second look at this horse, then I was convinced.
Yeah, that's what I did this morning. We have a video coming up. I'm not going to cue it yet. Clayton's Candy is a video spotlight, but I did go back and watch the World Gone Wild race. The blinkers went on. Hustled from the gate, but then cleared kind of easily. Was keen into the turn and just was taken in hand to dictate, Callie, and really kind of looked like she won with something in reserve. So I think even if the speedy fillies and mares like Golden Can go out above the limit, some of these other speeds might be able to just sit just off of them and strike around the turn. So she's quick. She may try to just go ahead and go and run them off their feet around the turn. I'm going to use her on top. That blinker's on. That really got her focused. She's got some races on the back that work as well. Olive Cat, that's your price user. You don't have her into the mix. The 6-year-old mare hasn't really fired on her last couple of races, but has her best race, only turf start, sprinting over this turf course. Got it done with a good buyer. So she's had some trouble trips. Maybe she can rally into it, save some ground at a price. And talk about the 1. You've got the 1 in there 4th, but Clayton's Candy. Let's take a look at this race going back to June 22nd at Delaware, if we can.
Yep.
Yeah, this was a good effort, and she's pretty versatile. Short, long, it doesn't matter. Going to go second time off the claim for Mark Salvaggio. Just tossed the last at Penn, and they were blistering out front. Got caught up in a duel with a horse I did not think would be on the lead, but was there to entertain Clayton's Candy. But here's the Clayton's Candy sprinting. Was able to sit just off of it and grind on by. She has good tactical speed and inside position today. Going to be tough from just off the pace. And
we do have enough horses that are going to be quick enough that will be like you worded it, entertaining that front end where I mean, Clayton's Candy, this is a fillies race. I see this filly possibly sitting in the pocket, enjoying that type of trip of just being kind of having everything encompassing around her, being held together by Tyler Connor, and just going on and giving a similar performance like that we just saw that was back in June over at Delaware.
I agree. I think she's got just enough speed to be late 4th or 5th. 2 or 3 of them, they're just quicker than her naturally, it looks like to me, into the turn. But if she can draft into position by the 3/8 without having any trouble, yeah, she's going to enjoy the flow up in front and make a run.
Definitely. Let's kick on to our first maiden special weight. And before we do, let's take another quick commercial break for you guys. We will be right back before we start talking about these baby fields today.
Top by 3, by 4, and moving away.
Rainbow a pick six starts here in race 5, and I lined up a ticket for you guys, and I went a little bit similar, Keith. We get into this maiden special weight where a couple of them, I could have gone one or two more, but I decided there were a couple in these couple of races in this card today where I had to go wide, so I did have to trim up a little bit. Race 5, 7, 8, 9, those are the races. Race number 6 with that. Excuse me, claiming 16, long on the turf. There you go. Never win 3. That's a highly, highly competitive field. I could have, just for entertainment purposes, gone one more, but then it would have been an $80 ticket. I felt you guys would have appreciated a $64 ticket a little bit more.
I like that. I like that. 64. Can you let me get like a $12 ticket?
Well,
I think we can get some guys together, put some money together.
Yeah, there you go. Get some guys together, split it up for $12 each. That's the best I can do for you today,
right.
Keith. But a couple of nice, especially that allowance race. I could have gone one more on that allowance race in race number 9 with Vibrant. I have Vibrant Judy Spicy Margarita, but then I could have thrown in the number 3, who knows what, just because knocking on the door the entire time. But then that race 10, that's a nice event here for the maiden 20. I do have a price play in that race as well, but without further ado, let's carry on to this maiden special weight 5 on the dirt. 6 furlongs, excuse me, on the dirt. We both land on the number 3, Keith. This is your best bet of the day. 8 in sand for Brittany. Russell blinkers on this time, where Brittany is quite successful with the blinkers on for the first time.
Yeah, we've got a couple runners who are a little bit late to the races, right? The 2 Chocolate Shake and the 3 8 in sand. Let's go to the video of 8 in sand. No running whatsoever at Colonial on the debut, bet down to 2-1. Here you go, out of the gate. I got a little props to Rodman. He kind of woke me up to this guy, this Munnings gelding, and you see him there just climbing after that slower start. Just didn't really seem to be handling the racetrack down at Colonial Downs. Sheldon's got like 3 and 4 wide around the turn, circling. It's just like the situation. We got to wait for another day. He just not grabbing it. What in a situation like that when you're on a horse, first time out, new environment, new surface, they come out of the gate like that and just don't seem comfortable. You just kind of
dirt. It wasn't the dirt underneath the horse. It was the dirt in the face that he wasn't loving. So that horse was climbing. He didn't break sharp. Sheldon put him underneath. Horse was climbing just from the dirt getting in the face. It's a bit different versus dirt in the face is always different when you're galloping. Versus breezing versus in the race. Okay. All 3 are different types of dirts at hitting you at different speeds. So we get a little bit of sting. 8 in sand got a little bit of sting last time out, but Sheldon just kept him behind horses, tried to see if he could get a little bit encouraged by going wide. The horse was completely discouraged by it. So we throw the blinkers on. Let's try and get this horse to the front and not have him, and especially carrying that 3 position. And if you look even further, we've got to work on September 9th. Coming out of the gate, I have a feeling that was with the blinkers on to really just get this horse going out of the gate and really concrete that idea in this gelding's head.
Yeah, like 3 works since that performance at Colonial. You've got a family that's good, half to a New York bred stakes winner. I think 8 in Sand's going to be a different kind of gelding here today with the blinkers on. He was a little tricky to line because you kind of glance, and the first thing I always kind of look at is the figs, the speed. And there's nothing there, but it's the barn. So you kind of look at horses like He Rolls and a couple other ones that look like, should take favorites. I've got a hedge towards a barn that always gets play, and I think the play will come in on 8 in Sand.
That's fine. That's absolutely fine. So. You talk about Chocolate Shake, who is, you say late, it's late to the races, but this one was sold for $70 at OBS in the winter. So these babies these 2-year-olds that go through these 2-year-old sales, it's a really grueling process. So a lot of them, Keith, it's a good thing that Lacey Gaudet gave this gelding some time after just a bit of a process. So might have gone to the farm to have a little bit of break after that, then came into training. I love how late this horse has come into the game. So, and I do like Lacey's been a bit better about this, getting these gate works in the last at least 4 works before we go ahead to the races. But we've got a half-mile work out of the gate on September 1st. I'm fine enough with that work. That's a respectable 49 and 1 work.
Yeah, 6 runners out of this mare. 1 win, 1 second, and 1 third. So that works with the first-time starters, right? I like that.
Yep.
half to Brimstone Island. He was a mainstay around here, really, really fast, topped out at a 96. So, maybe the patience pays off. I'm sure they had a lot of high hopes for Chocolate Shake. So hopefully, given the time, he's ready to rock and roll this afternoon. He rolls. He's been proven. He's been running well. Not huge figures, but he's been game. He was dead game over at Timonium. And I think Mr. Mitch can benefit from debut. Keys up against the right kind, chased and kind of angled out, made a little bit of a move before flattening.
Right.
I think that experience will help, and I think he can make a run into it.
Certainly can, Mr. Mitch. My younger brother is a Mitch, so hopefully
okay.
that horse doesn't disrespect at all. I have a feeling he won't, since especially we both have him underneath. But let's go ahead to race number 6 is claiming 16, never win 3, a mile here over the turf. Scratch number 3, Galatians. Interesting scratch. So that, Keith, leaves you and me with the 4 and the 6, and flipping flopping our exacta and on top.
The old flip-flop.
Flip-flop.
Maryland Pride, yeah, I think it's a situation you're going to get a higher percentage barn and a rider that's riding well, that's on a good clip right now. You're going to get that combo at an okay price. I've got this one lined at 12. Might come down a little bit with the scratch of Galatians, but was 10-1 last time and didn't run at all.
Correct.
Third time off a break, off of a 246-day break, stretching back out. This horse has races going around a ground that work. It's the value play for me. I'm going to use that one. I think Mint Game has been steady as well. I like the positioning towards the inside.
I do.
This race is really close, so I think tripping out, Mint Game might just get the best.
Well, Mint Game is finally getting dropped down to an appropriate level, in my opinion. So I've been waiting for Jose to put this horse down there. And then Mikey Juralis, the last 8 races that are third after a layoff, so last 8, 2 of them have been wins, 5 of them have been second, and 1 third. So that's pretty that's 100% in the money. Third after the layoff in the last 8 starts.
Yeah,
yes. So that's what I really like. I love that you have this horse as your value play of the day, starting off at 12-1.
I tell you might have just killed my price. Thanks. But no,
Sorry.
high friend. I think
Sorry,
the 5
I'm
is sneaky as a price. There's really no speed per se in this race. Last time this guy ran over this turf course, carried it a long way, took pressure, and battled gamely to the end. That's kind of a sneaky price play. I'll toss in the 7 Seville Row as well. He's usually got a dependable rally. Huh?
Did I make up for that a little bit, throwing in the 10 there?
During what?
Throwing in the 10. Did I make up for it?
I guess. Yeah, you might.
Exposing your value play a little bit.
Okay.
Race number 7, claiming at 10, 3 years old and up, which have never won 3. Sorry, 6 furlongs here on the dirt, and we both land on the number 7 market of stocks for Ricky D'Angelo. We do have this filly just coming off. Again, I'm taking a play out of Tim Tulloch's book. When they run well at Timonium, they tend to carry that momentum for at least a couple of races after that meet.
Big T, the key oval around here. But, yeah, Market of Stocks got a great ride last time. Dropped into the rail into the first turn, was sit. Never looked like a loser, down the backside, just waited, shifted out, and drew away. She's going to have to run a little bit quicker, but I think she can draft in and get a pretty good setup because you've got Targe will go ahead and go from the inside. This horse, she's going to be dangerous. She took pressure and held pretty well at Timonium, shortening back up. Some is 9. We'll put some pressure on that one. But Market of Stocks, even Reawaken, I should say, should be up close with Albert for Billy Meister, who can always strike at a price. But Market of Stocks, coming back third race in less than a month. They must think she's sharp. Back up the ladder. I'm hoping she can stalk and move into it.
Hopefully she can. You have the number. You just talked about the number 5, yes? Just with mixed best bet. Yeah.
Let's talk about that one.
Yeah, let's touch on that a little bit.
Well, Carrasco's back. Won with her 2 races back at Kelowna. The race kind of fell apart. She came rolling late to get past, but has a good effort. I'm just wondering if she's a little bit better on an off track. That's the key, but she'll grind it out behind the speeds in here.
And there's plenty of speed for her to be able to go into. So absolutely. But go ahead. Let's get into this allowance. This race number 8. 5 furlongs here on the turf. This is going to be an interesting way this race pans out. You land on the number 8 on top center stage for Arnaud Delacour, Victor Carrasco. It's a Delacour day for Keith, which is great. I love to see it. This one needing to retain some of the speed that happened in that first time in breaking that maiden score.
My day goes as Delacour days go, I guess, because I've got them later as well. But center stage really comes out of some strong races. I chased her up there at 7-2 in the Christiana at Delaware. was up close and just kind of faded a little bit. That was after a try at Laurel where she had a ton of trouble. Top of the stretch, was able to work outside late, came on with a flourish. I just think maybe the sprint. This horse has had 2 sprints on the dirt that were okay.
Why not?
Maybe this is going to work for her. A slew of speed again. They are going to be rapid up front. Center stage turning back in distance. I think might come rolling. The half brother was grade 3 stakes placed as well, sprinting on the turf. Was really good
Oh,
turf
well,
sprinter.
there we
So
go.
little shoddy. This is kind of it. Hopefully this is the kind of race that she needs to get over the top. But Victor, I'm sure, will work out a trip from out there.
Especially Victor Carrasco on the lead, on the lead on the turf. Deadly, absolutely. I just went for the number 7. A little bit of that same type of situation. This is a horse that has been, so they're switching over to the turf, just hasn't been able to get that. Then I also look at I said, hey, this horse has a little bit of an outside post, but then you have center stage right on the outside of that. So those, Forrest and Victor, are just going to be gunning for it. And to be honest, I like Victor out of the gate. If I were to pick a rider in between out of the gate, I would maybe opt for Victor a little bit. But Forrest has such a good relationship with this filly that it's able to just get her very quickly out of the gate. So actually, the gate speed of what I see between both, I see a little bit of that actually breaking on top over center stage. But I have a feeling center stage. It'll be interesting. It's quite an interesting race. We have Awesome Jazz, who I have underneath. The only thing I question about Awesome Jazz is the 5 furlongs going to be good enough. But then you also have the number 2 underneath, Trixie Time for Tito Moreno. That's a bit of an interesting one coming out of some nice speedy races from Penn.
I'm going to get back to Trixie's Time, so hold that thought.
Yes.
Let's go to the video of Awesome Jazz, so the 6 horse in here this particular day. And Awesome Jazz, she's run well. She hasn't won over this turf course, but she's got 2 seconds and 2/3 from 4 tries. And out of the gate, just a little bit sluggish, really not pinched. She just kind of missed it right there, going 5.5 at Laurel, but let everything kind of develop up front. And when they turn for home, there's 2, 3 across the track. She gets out and is able to get out into the clear, and you better get out of her way, because she's made big middle moves in routes. She can make that big run from the back of the pack in sprints, and we saw yesterday a horse do kind of the same thing. That was the Maldonado horse, Better Call Mama. A little issue out of the gate, swung out about 6 wide, turning for home, and finished with a flourish. Awesome Jazz will love what's going on up in front in this race. Will she get up in time? I don't know, but she's going to be rolling late. So you got to, I think, use her underneath definitely your exactest tries in supers. Trixie's Time is quick. I mean, you look at her races, and I went back who she faced. You're thinking, it's a 10,000 claimer. But, that winner racing the street had won, going on the go back, a back class turf sprinter, and one of 2 other than at Laurel on the go back. So she's certainly fast. She loves the fight up front. I'm going to throw her into the mix because I think because of the connection, she's going to stay a price. And the one intrigues me a little bit. Blazing Star for Trombetta. Opted out of a softer spot to go here.
Right.
All right, that winner out of that last race in New York came back to whistle, running an 84 Fig. You don't see him kind of go in this will claim a whole lot. So that one right there, I think, should draft into that position because I think she's faster than Utterly Courageous. Fastlani's going to go. At least Blazing Star being able to cut the corner and just kind of look for room, turning for home.
Right, absolutely. So let's go ahead to race number 9 in this allowance, 6 furlongs on the dirt. And we both land on Vibrant Judy on top for Brittany Russell, Sheldon Russell, putting in just a wonderful performance in that maiden breaking score last time out.
Yeah, let's take a look at that. It's very difficult to win first out at 7/8 at Laurel Park. Brittany, as she has done so many times now, has sent horses out and ready to go, get whatever distance they're challenged to do, and they get it done in a professional manner. She gets the lead. She gets pressure. Nursed along. Internal's pretty good. 23-1, 46-2. That wasn't like a real sped-up racetrack either. Turns for home, and Sheldon says, okay, let's go a little shove, and she just really responds like extra ground. You're thinking maybe she's going to stretch up, but they turn back in distance for the second out. Now, you don't want to knock on train. That's the one thing the Brittany horses, they've been much better first out than second out off of winning that debut.
Right.
That's an odd stat. You don't see it a whole lot, but I tell you, the way she won, I think you're going to see a trip like her horse yesterday, the Roan Burgundy, get up there, prompt the issue because Spicy Margarita might be a little bit faster.
Right.
I think they're going to be on their own little match race from the quarter pole home as long as nothing crazy happens out of the gate. They just seem to have that edge right now.
I mean, if the filly, here's the thing: if the filly's running great now, why not just give her? Why not see what she's made of? It just kick her onto those allowance. But again, you said it: Spicy Margarita on the lead, on the rail, plenty fast enough. But interesting. It's going to be an interesting race, and I think as well as you do, going off of just a nice little match race from the quarter pole on.
Yep. And you have the three who knows what looks like if that Spirited Duel develops early.
Somebody picking it up.
Getting back to the main track and sprinting, because you look back, you toss her last two turf races. Those last several sprints are all good. Not super fast, but enough. If things kind of just fall apart, might roll on by. Tweedledee Robin, she's had some good races. I like her a little better at 7. But I think she's going to be forcing the issue as well with Barbosa.
Right. So, and I just threw in Hammy underneath there. The horse just second after the layoff, he tends to do better than you think. Second after the layoff, and I said, why not? This distance also might suit this filly as well. But let's go into our nightcap of the day. This maiden claiming 20 for girls. On the turf, 1.16 on the turf. I have a price play, but let's get into Coffee Bean. That Coffee Bean is a little bit of that obvious choice, another Arnaud Delacour horse. I thought about putting, I had this horse in second. I mixed around a little bit from my tip sheet that I put in on the website, but that Colonial effort last time out dropping in class seemed to fit things a little bit better for Coffee Bean.
Yeah, I thought it was okay. The blinkers went back onto the stretch out of race here. Our nightcap doesn't have a slew of early speed. I want to say, Ruiz, just take the initiative and try to go ahead and go. Secure the inside and nurse up front. Beastie Girl came back to run a 64 out of that race. And looking at the final time, 44-4, that was only a few ticks off of like Open 10 boys. That day. So that final time stacks up. We'll give a shot. The Coffee Bean up front, 7-1-2-5. I know we're running a little short on time.
I
Callie.
Like the research. I go with
10th.
number 10 on Amaretto Sour for my price play. Just didn't have, had a better trip at Laurel, was a little bit packed and consolidated when she was asked at Colonial. I think this filly likes her space a little bit. She didn't have enough room to really make the move that she wanted to do. Victor understands this filly now. He knows what the game plan is going to be next time out, them having a winner yesterday. But let's kick on to our lightning round for this morning show today. Just doing a Colonial Downs rewind yesterday. Actually, before we get into that, just wanted to highlight that it will be Backstretch Appreciation Day here at Pimlico at noon on September 21st. All are welcome to spend time after training hours socializing, listening to music, and eating. Once again, Bob's Hideaway Catering will provide pit beef, pulled pork, hot dogs, salad, soda, and water, and desserts. There are plans to offer free merchandise and have drawing prizes for prizes and cash. Please do attend and support the backstretch workers here for Maryland Racing. They are the backbone. They do so much for us. Wanted to give a warm welcome to somebody new here at somewhat relatively new here in Maryland, but that is Dr. Joe Brodeen. He is one of our new doctors here. He's on the medical staff, but he attended medical school at Georgetown, trained to become a doctor at Franklin Square Medical Center and Johns Hopkins. So prior to becoming a physician, he spent 5 years in the Johns Hopkins intensive care unit, but he was introduced to Kelly Ryan. He came over here, and of course, Dr. Kelly Ryan being so passionate about the healthcare for jockeys, for track workers. She sucked Dr. Joe right in, so welcome,
Good.
Dr. Joe. We are happy to officially have you, and welcome. But let's talk about one more Colonial winner, one more Maryland Colonial winner. Just wanted to highlight Spun Glass for Mike Trombetic, Fergal Lynch on top. Just had a really nice rally for the second back-to-back stakes wins in the Camp Down, winning by a nice 3/4 of a length, but just a very, very nice go. But Keith, let's talk about your best bet and your value play of the day.
Blinkers on, right? Race number 5. Let's see. We got the fast track blinkers on. Brittany Russell. Sheldon Russell, 8 in sand, 53. Hopefully we'll get it done for us today. Hopefully this horse gets a better break. I think he'll be forward. You'll see a lot better effort.
Absolutely.
And long shot. Value play of the day.
Value
Race
play.
6. Number 6, Maryland Pride. We talked about it. Caramanos Chiralis, high percentage trainers, high percentage jockey, getting away at an okay price. And you had a little stat there, third off the break as well. So hopefully that doesn't kill our price. Hopefully we can get maybe 8 to 1. Let's hope.
8 to 1. Let's see if we can get 8 to 1 on Keith's value play. But let's go ahead and check in with Dave Rodman for changes and scratches.
All right, good luck.